Good day everyone, so hope you're all doing really well. Little Pom Pom here from Honkai Star Rail has a bit of a crush here on Jean, and so he has asked me to make a video on his behalf that explains to you why Jean is such a good support. And to this end I thought, well, let us run a bit of a Kaching Aggravate team here on the second half of the Spiral Abyss, with the idea being to see exactly how Jean can primarily support Kaching, but also provide a bit of utility for the rest of the team. Now before we get into anything, if any of you would like to see the unedited footage without my commentary and just a Spiral Abyss run, I've got you covered. There's a link in the video description below, so if you feel so inclined, do check that out instead. But for the rest of you that are along with the ride, let's just get into it. So right off the bat here, we're going to tag the enemies and set up our Aggravate team, and this is where Jean is going to start providing a bit of value. So as an Anemo unit, she can obviously carry the VV artifact set, and this means that she can shred the opponent's electro resistance, which gives Kaching effectively a higher damage output. So combined with the Dendro and Quicken aura, Kaching will be able to deal quite a massive amount of damage to the enemies. So this is obviously like really good, but that's just standard Anemo stuff. So what makes Jean in particular so good is her elemental burst for a couple of reasons. So firstly, she can heal the active character, but she can also remove any debuffs that are applied to the active character. So as you can see here, the frozen aura is on Kaching, but now it is removed by Jean's elemental burst. And this is so awesome because, as you know, the frozen aura not only increases stamina consumption, which is pretty bad for Kaching because she's reliant on her charge attack, but it also slows down your movement abilities. And as we know, Kaching is a fast attacker, so if you slow her down, then obviously she's not putting out as much damage. So this is what Jean can provide us with. She can remove the debuffs, she shreds the opponent's resistances, and she also heals up our Kaching. Absolutely awesome, and this is at the C0 level. I must also add that because Jean has got a strong attack on her E, she can actually interrupt some enemies and their attacks, so this can also provide you a bit of extra flexibility. So instead of dodging or wasting stamina to iframe, you can just knock the enemies, and there's definitely an example of this earlier in this video. So that is C0 Jean in a nutshell, an absolutely awesome unit, and as the video title suggests, like Kokomi, I think she is the Kokomi of the Anemo units. She's got a lot of small little things packed into a kit that just interact so well with the rest of the cast. But in any case, let's talk a bit about constellations. So C2 Jean, which I imagine some people might have, is also very good because every single time that she picks up an elemental orb, she provides your team with a movement speed buff. So this is extremely good for Kaching. So not only does your Kaching like attack faster, but even in the case where you don't have Jean's elemental burst to remove, let's say, a cryo debuff, that extra movement speed bonus can of course help you offset the debuff in a certain sense. So that is just so good from a utility perspective. And then finally, Jean's C6 is kind of insane because it provides your entire team, as long as they're in the Dandelion field, with a minus 35% damage reduction. So basically what it means is that the enemies are not going to hit as hard. So not only do you cleanse yourself and you heal yourself, you can also take more damage, which is just so insane. And that is honestly what makes Jean such a good support with all the constellations, which people will eventually get even as an F2P. She's just a very good solid unit. The only thing that really lacks is a bit of like offensive potential, but in these Aggravate teams you certainly don't need it. But yeah guys, that has been it for this video. This is why Jean's awesome, and hopefully you've enjoyed this little bit of a Spiral Abyss showcase.